Today's inspiration comes from Quantum Living Lifestyles on Instagram, and they shared this beautiful quote that just really landed for me, and I felt inspired to share that with you and speak to that a bit. So the quote was, "The lens you look through determines the world you live in. If you see limitations, you live in a world of walls. If you see possibilities, doors appear where others see dead ends. If you expect resistance, you'll find it. If you expect flow, reality bends to meet you. You don't receive reality as it is, you receive it as you are. Shift your perception and the entire game changes." So I really felt this one land deep into my being. What came up for me was I immediately was taken back to being a young girl, lying in bed in the quiet of the night. I really didn't like the dark, but I remember how quiet it was and thinking that, gosh, my parents haven't had a fight in a while, and they could have some really epic ones through the eyes of a young 7 and 8, 9, 10-year-old. Like, of course, at the time, I wasn't aware of the words anxiety and trauma, fear. So I wasn't thinking from that mindset, but what I do clearly remember were the feelings associated. And I was really scared and nervous and worried and sick to my stomach. Soon after, there was an epic fight. I realized in later years, like, I created this loop in my mind that bad things happen and they're cyclical, and that I wasn't ever going to experience anything good in my life, that bad things always happened. I remember being in the back seat of a car thinking, like as a young girl, thinking, gosh, we haven't had a car accident in a while. And within like seconds, someone ran into the back of our car. Like, nuts. How's that for manifestation? That's working a treat, isn't it? Careful what you wish for. But I didn't know I was creating this new way of thinking, of believing that bad things happen and that they were beyond my control. And I know I made a decision that I liked to be in control. And there's been a lot of unlearning associated with that. Getting really worked up and anxious over the stuff that I had zero control over. There's been a lot of letting all of that fall away and be able to sit with uncertainty, get really up close and personal with the discomfort of uncertainty and go, yep, like, things happen, but it doesn't make me a bad person. It's not necessarily bad karma. It's not like I deserve bad things or I'm not worthy of good things. Just sometimes stuff just happens. We put that energy out there, and it might not be getting really caught up in all the big stuff and the little day-to-day stuff, but we still create our own reality with our thoughts. So that's why I harp on about raising our vibration, raising our frequency. And we do that best by being out in nature, around people we love who lift our energy, and being our best version of ourselves, doing things that bring us joy and lift us up. And so I realized for the next 20 years that this mindset of mine of bad things happen was running the show. I learned, or unlearned really, after working really hard in therapy and with like energy healers, mindful coaches, shamanic workers, light workers, kinesiologists, beautiful energy healing through Pleiadian guidance, that I needed healing, but that just wasn't limited to releasing the trauma. It was also rebuilding neural pathways, new ways of thinking, creating new loops. And it's something like consciously that I have to really be aware of. I notice when I'm like going into a shame spiral or going like I'm not good enough loop starts to test me and go, oh, I know you're there. No, we're not doing that again. We've learned. We don't need to keep repeating this cycle. It's just even like the healing is the awareness. So that really allowed me to break free and start to think from a place of possibility, from freedom and peace and love and forgiveness of myself, like for myself. And so this work allows me the capacity of holding others through their own journey of healing. What you think can be, you create and are. So I invite you to sit with that, let it percolate. If you do feel called to work with me, my link's in the bio. My website is shellgriffin.com. Feel welcome to book a session. I'd love to work with you. And I wish you a really gentle week ahead, one that is just beautifully peppered with clarity and creativity and joy, endless joy. So go gently.